Well, this isn't the car I'm going to be working on today. This is the car I'm working on today. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So, first thing I gotta do is close this right here. Don't want to let all the cold air get out of the house. So today I'm going to be working on the SST on my Evo 10. If you're watching this video, you already know what that is. If you don't know what that is, the SST is the dual clutch transmission that comes in Evo 10 MRs and just a handful of SEs that exist in the United States still. So I happen to have one of those. AC just turned off in the house. I happen to have one of those, and so I don't know when the last time the fluid was changed in this car. So it's really expensive. I paid just over $400 to get 2 gallons of training fluid and the oil filter, or the transmission fluid filter, whatever you want to call it, because it's just super expensive. Everything else, for the most part, has never worked on these cars, and I want to make sure I do it right with OEM fluids. So that's the plan today. However, there is another thing that's been going on. I have a Greddy transmission cooler in this car, and everything up to it, right, the button on the inside to activate all that stuff, it all works, it turns on, but there's a wire that came loose from the actual pump. So I want to see if I can try to get that to work today as well. Since I'm going to be draining everything out anyways, including all the fluid inside the training cooler, I might as well just knock that out too and see if I can get it fixed. If I can't, then I'm going to have to wait until I change the fluid again next time, because it's really expensive and I don't want it to lose a lot of fluid and stuff. But I can get one of those clamp things, but that's a different story. Anyways, that's the plan today as well. If you guys noticed, I was driving the blue car. I have some work I got to do on that, but that's going to be another video. So let's go ahead and just jump right into this. There's going to be a fan running. I apologize. It's still in the middle of summer here. It still gets super hot in this garage. So we're going to go ahead and turn it on and get started. I needed to pick up a new jack because the jack that I had was not working very well, man. It started crushing like the seam welds or whatever in my other car, and I didn't want to do it with this one, so I got a really nice one. As nice as it can be from Harbor Freight, but I know people that have this and they've had it for a long time and it works great, so I needed something that was quick to lift and stuff, and this is like, it's about time that I had a proper like jack, man. It's just, it's way past due. The one I wanted was like $300, but I can't afford that, so for $100, this one actually does a really good job, so whew. Don't mind my butt. Alright, so don't mind the engine bay. I know it's kind of disgusting right now. I need to clean it, but this is my first time doing this, so bear with me. So if this is your first time doing it, we'll probably learn things together. I really should have done this a long time ago. But I know that there's an 8mm Allen, I believe, or hex or whatever, on the top of the transmission that I need to take out. It's a good one to kind of help flow like when I'm draining it. And then there's 3 on the bottom. So whatever I take out, I am going to replace. I only have about 8 liters, so I hope that's enough. I don't know how much the transmission cooler holds, at least the Greddy one. I would assume that the factory one would, you know, you'd get enough out of 2, but whatever. So we're going to figure all that out together, but 8 is the most I have, so 8's going to have to work. But a white shirt was probably not the smartest thing to wear while trying to change out transmission fluid, but oh well. Alright, I'm going to try to remove the pump first. I try to remove the bolt from the top of the transmission, but it requires removing a ton of stuff. I removed the intake and everything, but there's still a bracket that kind of separates everything together, and I just didn't want to go through all that, so It's probably going to be a little more messy, but I'm just going to remove all the bolts once I get to that point. But right now I just want to get this pump out and see if I can figure out what the heck is going on with it. You probably can't see it from there, but there's a wire just dangling right there. And that's the main power wire to put power to that pump. So I want to try to get that fixed. It actually doesn't look half bad. Feels nice and smooth too, which is good. Yeah, it really doesn't look that bad. But again, I don't know when it was changed, so it's a good idea. But dang, that's I mean, it could have been changed, you know, right before the car was sold to me. I don't know, and it could have been put something different in for all I know. But that's not a dark. It's a dark amber color. I don't know if that's the actual color, but it feels nice, man. Like, I thought it'd been much darker. The filter's gonna say a different story though, for sure. When I pull out the filter here in a minute, you'll see that it's just, it's probably gonna be pretty bad. Oh wow, look at that. That's shredded right there too. So, it's not even attached. It's completely disassembled. I gotta see if I can figure out a way to solder 2 wires back on there and then hope that the pump still works. And I'm getting stuff everywhere. You guys have to pardon the mess here. I'm still in the middle of reorganizing my garage, but that's kind of upsetting right there, man. That kind of just pulled right out. The problem is that I don't know how I'm gonna get in there because it looks like it's epoxied somehow. The problem is that if this doesn't work, then I'm gonna have to go get a small like adapter between both hoses until I can get this replaced. And hopefully when I do replace this, I can just get like those hose clamps and clamp both ends off. That way I don't lose fluid, because it's $400 for fluid. Woo! It works. Yeah, I feel pressure coming out of this side. Okay, so the pump works, that's good. So I need to figure out how to solder some wires into this, and then I can pop it back in the car. That's awesome. I don't have to buy another one of these, man. I almost did. I almost ordered it online, but they're kind of pricey. That's dope. All right, let's solder. I'm actually gonna solder this on the actual car, because I don't have, the only thing I have is a soldering iron. I don't have any shrink wrap connectors. Otherwise I would connect the wires here and connect it in the car, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do this underneath the car because I don't have it and I wasn't prepared for this. But this is actually starting to become something kind of challenging, but I'm gonna make it work. I've already done one side and it kind of burned my finger, but that whole thing took like 5 minutes, so I'm gonna try to do this in less time, the second one. But this is tough, man. What I've learned is that if you warm up the wire first and then pop it on there, it makes your life a whole lot easier. Not bad, right? Good to go. So I soldered pretty much both points. It's because it's already on the car. And I really want to put some tape there just to make it a little more waterproof, but I'll figure something else out. Maybe I'll put some resin or I don't know what. I'll figure it out. But for now, I just want the pump to work, and it does work. So that's dope, man. All right, next step. All right, I have a 32mm socket. I'm gonna go ahead and use it to undo the filter because it's probably gonna make my life easier. Oh yeah, way freaking easier. I'm sure it's hand tightened, but it's been on there for so long, God knows. Oh yeah, that is disgusting. All right, filter date 10/2/2016. If it's the last time the transmission fluid was replaced, that's really bad. I'm hoping that's just a generic date that when this was created, but that's not a good sign. 10/2/2016. That's almost 5 years ago to the day. Holy crap. All right, I bought an OEM filter. I didn't get one of those generic ones on eBay or Amazon. Let's see the date on this one. I'm just curious. 7/24/2020. So that's a little better. And that's what the filter is supposed to look like compared to the black one. Holy crap. All right. All right, the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and fill it up. This is going to be the fun part because I have two funnels on top of each other because I don't have the right funnel. So I'm kind of nervous. It's because this is really expensive stuff, man. But I think I can get it. Someone's gonna get spilled. Oh wow, it's green? Alright, so what came out of the transmission was not green. Alright, I just spilled a bunch too, man, so I need to be careful with this. If there was an easier way to do this, I wish somebody would have told me, but you know, I have no idea. There we go. That's much better. I just realized that this little plastic thing that I removed right here is probably what helps not make that mess that I made. So yeah, you know, you live and you learn. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pour the rest in. Like I said, it was just over 6.5 liters that I pulled out, so that's what I'll be putting back in. So there should only be about like 1.5 liters left in this thing. Yeah, oh my god, that makes such a difference. Holy crap, I can't believe I didn't do this earlier. What a dummy. I bet somebody out there is going to give me shit for this. I kind of second guessed when I did, and I was like, ah, that's not what that's for. That's just to help remove the tab out of the way. It's not. That's not what that's for. See that crack in the door right there? I need to fix that. Alright guys, so it's actually the next morning. That took me about 4 hours to complete last night. I was not expecting that, but you know, it is my first time that I did it, so I cut out a lot of stuff. But what you didn't see is me putting the engine bay back together. I'll kind of show you the engine bay right now that it's daylight out, so you can kind of see what I did and all the work I had to do. And then we're gonna go ahead and go for a test drive. So I made sure that everything looked good, all the hoses were back together, all the piping, all of that went back on in one piece. I also made sure last night that I didn't have any leaks. I checked again this morning just in case. It all looks pretty good, so the next thing we need to do is a test drive and make sure everything is going smoothly. And then we're actually gonna go ahead and work on this car, but that's gonna be the next video that you're gonna see. I have one thing I need to do to this car. As you can see, I have tires already on the factory wheels. I have been driving this car because I've been having issues with the other one. So I have something I have to take care of in this car. Actually, I have a bunch of things. Reverse taillight doesn't work. I still have a couple lights on the dash that I need to take care of. I'm working on it. ABS light being one of them, and the airbag light. The airbag light, I have to go to the dealership. I always go on these tangents, but the other thing I'm gonna take care of today, I'll tell you in the next video on that, but it's something kind of important. It's a very simple thing, but can literally destroy your car if you don't take care of that. It's a very routine thing that some people just don't think about, but we're gonna talk about that. But let's go ahead and go for a drive. Guys, don't mind the engine bay. I know it's kind of disgusting right now, but everything I touch down here, my hands just get completely black. It's awful. I really need to clean this engine bay. It hasn't been done since I actually bought the car. This used to be white. Insane. If you notice, I do have a lot of stuff that I have to take out, which is kind of annoying. There's a shield here. It's like a heat shield essentially it's from MAP, so it's a MAP intake. And I have to remove the actual intake from the turbo. The problem is the turbo is a Garrett GT 3076. Come to find out, I just learned that last night. And I have to, because it sits so low, the actual coupler that attaches to it is a really big pain in the ass to try to put back in. So I fought that for probably about 30-45 minutes last night, but I have to remove the intake, of course. I have to also remove the oil catch because it's attached to the shield right here. And then you can actually get to the plug where you fill the fluid. However, because it's got a Grady transmission cooler, it has a hose that comes out and fills the transmission back in with cold transmission fluid, which is kind of nice, but of course you want an optimal temperature on these transmissions, and the best thing is that Datsun sump pump thing that they have, and it keeps it at the right temperature. I don't have that. That thing's kind of expensive. Maybe in the future I'll take care of it, but I had to put all of this stuff back together, and that's what took me a while to do, as well as all the stuff underneath the engine bay. So, you know, I'm sweating already, which is kind of insane, but you know, I wanted to make sure that I did it right, and I double check it, because last night I could have finished this and we could have gone on a test drive, but I didn't realize it was going to take me 4 hours, and I wanted to conclude the video, so that's what we're going to do right now. One thing that I learned about all this is that yes, the transmission fluid that goes in this car is a really light green color. What came out was dark amber, and it just threw me through a loop because it looked kind of clear still, but as soon as I saw that filter, I knew that this thing hasn't been done in a long time, especially with a date. So, my God, man. All right, let's go for a drive. All right. Oh my God. It is so hot. I gotta get this AC cranking. If you've made it this far into the video and you're new to SSTs, I applaud you for sticking this far in. But you always want to make sure, let me turn this down a little bit. You always want to make sure you're driving in Sport Plus. So hold it down until you get to S Sport or Sport, Super Sport. Sport Plus is a different car. What the hell am I talking about? You always want to make sure you're driving in Super Sport because it engages the clutches a lot quicker, so they're not wearing on their own because you know, if you're driving a manual car, then of course you have the control over that, how much you want to slip the clutches. In this, you don't have a choice. You have three options. Normal, which slips like crazy but drives really smooth. Sport, which is still feels the same to me than the other one, but apparently it engages, but it's very smooth still. And then Super Sport, which is just like, all right, so it takes about 20 minutes or so roughly for the transmission to get up to proper operating temperature. There's no reason for me to waste my gas and just drive around for 20 minutes. I'm gonna run an errand and take this to the recycling. It's about 20 minutes or so down the road. Once I get there, I can empty it. I'll probably leave the car running so it doesn't cool down, but I'm only there for a few minutes anyways. And then we're gonna give it a shot. So let's see how the transmission does. God, I hope it shifts a lot better than it has been, man, because I've been having some serious issues. One day it didn't go into reverse. Another day it only went to 2, 4, and 6. I don't know if it had anything to do to oil change or if it had something to do with the magnet, but I drove it several times since and it's been driving fine, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Left the recycling place, and the next road that we're going to drive on right now is very windy, so I can upshift and downshift just to see, you know, how it reacts, because a lot of times when I shift to a different gear from another one, sometimes it'll kind of give me like a weird jolt or whatever. So we'll see how it goes, but downshift into fourth, giant left-hand corner here. I did watch Formula 1 this morning, so I feel a little bit of adrenaline from the race. Anybody out there watch Formula 1? Big fan. I'm a Red Bull guy, by the way. If you hate me for that, sorry. All right. Shifted into fourth beautifully. I've been having problems with fourth, so we'll see. This is a really fast turns. Another big right-hander, but it gets really tight here in a little bit, so I'll probably be dropping into third. I can get to sixth at this point, but I don't want to. Don't cut in front of me, don't you dare. Oh, accident. Bummer. Alright, fourth. Nice and windy. I see a little bit of traffic up ahead. I really do feel like I'm racing right now, but it feels incredible, man. Honestly, like I feel like I would have hit something by now, but there we go. Third gear. Switch to fourth. Brake around the apex. Yep. Go around this car. You gonna stay in your lane, bro? Oh, you're not gonna let me cut, are you? You're a dick. I really do feel like I'm in a Formula 1 race. It feels incredible, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, it feels awesome. It hasn't done that weird jolt yet, but you know, that could happen. I feel like it probably needs a or a reteach or whatever the hell you call it in this car. I don't have the right cable for it. I only have the Tetrix for the Evo 8, but I know the Evo 10 uses a different one. So I have to get one of those and do that. Some people say that it's probably not a bad idea, especially after, yep, see, it just did that weird, stupid jolt thing. So I think it needs that. I think it needs to be done. Alright, car feels good. I have to do the reteach on the transmission for sure, because I'm still getting that weird thing that it kind of almost engages and disengages or whatever when I switch to third and fifth gear. It doesn't do as bad in fifth gear, but I suspect third gear, because it's a lower gear, there's more torque there, that it's a little more harsh. But we're going to take care of that, hopefully in another video soon, because I need to buy the cable, but I don't have a cable yet. I am going to go up, eat lunch with the missus, and then I'm going to record my other video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new, please subscribe. And is that everything you're supposed to say? Peace.